Welcome back to the Sunday Q&A, another one. So I've been painting stuff today, and not really, just sealed some stuff, but I did paint the door on the Charger. So it looks really good. I think it looks really good. So I'm pretty excited about that because it's one door painted. I sealed the other door, and I think I should be able to get all the doors painted by the end of the week, unless I have to go pick up this car from Texas on Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think I'm gonna win it because I only want to spend 20 grand, and it's already at 20 grand. So I don't know. I might go 21. I'm not sure. I'm just buying the car for the seats, but we'll see what happens. I really am kind of afraid to go to Texas because all the fuel shortage stuff going on and stuff like that. So I'd have to bring a bunch of diesel with me so I didn't get stranded there. And I don't know if it's worth it. So hopefully I get the car, but at the same time, I really don't want to get the car. So yeah, but the Charger is getting close. So I can't wait to actually see this thing painted, because after I painted the door, it just looks so good. So that's it's getting close. I'm getting pretty excited. Let's see, evening from the UK. What's going on? Love your build. Thanks. Awesome build. I got an 05 Magnum RT all-wheel drive. Love the build. Thanks. Can't wait to see it done. Me too. Am I keeping this supercharged or turbo? So it's going to be twin turbo. That's been the plan from the beginning. I might end up throwing a Hellcat swap in it to be able to drive it around, but we'll see what happens. I really just want to build the engine and go twin turbo and everything. So we'll see. But it's the end result's going to be twin turbo. So your build is beautiful. Thanks. Hey Dave, what's going on? Great stuff. Thanks. What up? Can't wait to see the front clip. I can't wait to see the back end is what I'm excited to see, with all the rear bumper and the wide body stuff on it. It's going to be looking good. Fuel shortage is over in North Texas. So it's pretty much all the way down to Houston. So it's kind of far down there. Let's see. This is what Dodge fans dreamed about. Yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm gonna have this thing done for SEMA 2021. It's gonna go to SEMA, but Dodge canceled SRT line and all this stuff, and they're probably gonna make something as hideous as that electric Mustang that Ford came out with, and be like, well, here's your new Hellcat. So I don't know, but disappointing news, because it's I don't know, electric isn't where it's at. I mean, electric is cool, but at the end of the day, it's really not where it's at. So and it's not as fun. What clear did you say you were using, and what size needle on the gun? That please, some seriously smooth finish you're laying on it. So I use Sherwin-Williams clear. I was using, I think it's the CC 939 before, but now I'm using their new CC 200, which is a really, really good clear. It's really thin. So Josh was looking at how thin it was, and he's like, yeah, if you don't know how to clear stuff, you're gonna run it, because it's not something that you could just lay on. So I'm doing 4 coats of the clear, but it's just really nice to see, because the more I paint, it's the better I get. Because before, when you first start painting, you're rushing stuff, and you're not really rushing stuff, but you have this, I don't know, you feel like everything's gonna happen too fast. So now that I've been painting for a while, I mean, I just kind of chill and paint and stuff like that. And now I've gotten to the point where I kind of look at how wet the clear is laying down, but you kind of know what it's going to do. So you just kind of go back and forth, and it lays out or it doesn't. I mean, but most of the time, if now that I've painted enough stuff, it kind of seems like it's consistent. So it's really nice not having to watch it or go back. And when I first started painting, you'd have like a dry spot and you have to go back and stuff like that. So it definitely is a skill you have to learn by doing. How difficult is it going to be putting newer year dash on a Magnum? Well, this is a Charger that I used, but even if it wasn't, they just bolt right in. If you watch my older videos with my old Magnum, it all just bolts in. So love the color. Me too. Blessing in disguise that you ended up having issues with resin and talked to the guy at Black Ops, so the wing and roof ended up matching perfectly. Yeah, I definitely am glad that I'm using the same resin that he's using, because it just have like a tint shade off, or it'd just be like a shade off, because mine would have been 100% clear, and then most people that make carbon fiber parts, actually I think everybody that makes carbon fiber parts, all the resin that they use kind of has a little tint to it. He also said that gives it a lot more depth, so I'll be able to compare the 100% clear epoxy resin that I was using to something that's tinted, and seeing the difference between the depth of the carbon fiber. So that's something I also have to work on. I need to get that roof made, so once I'm done painting these doors, I can go to just painting the body of the car and have that thing ready to go, have the doors bolted on it. I mean, I want to get this thing done so I can see it. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time to see it done, but I'd rather do it right. I mean, as you guys saw if you guys are on my Instagram or my TikTok, from the door, the how smooth it was and how nice it looks. So it takes a lot more time, but I mean, sometimes the longer way around is the better way. So you think I could take a new inside and put it in an old body? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if you're talking about a Magnum, you could swap everything in. I have videos of doing it on my old Magnum. Hopefully this build will make them change their minds about the Magnum and bring it back. I mean, we'll see what happens. How's it going, Dave? Did you ever figure the antenna in the Trackhawk spoiler? Yeah, so I'm going to run the antenna inside the wing, but a lot of people were saying that it would have a Faraday cage effect and all this stuff, but at the same time, they make carbon fiber covers that go over those antennas, and a lot of people use them and they don't have any issues. So I shouldn't have any issues with it. I don't think I'll have any problems, and it'll just be so much cleaner than it having that little shark fin in the middle of the roof doing nothing. So hey, love the build. What are the plans for after the wagon? Also love the paint color you chose. It looks amazing. Such a shame Dodge will never make one. Plans for making molds to buy. So the wing, I'm working with Black Ops Auto Works. They're going to be producing the wings in fiberglass and carbon fiber, so those should be available. I'll probably make a video once they become available to purchase. Probably be a couple months, so shouldn't be too long, and they'll look just like the one I made. They just won't weigh, I think that thing weighs like 60 pounds because it's all Duraglass, but I can't wait to get the carbon fiber one. Also, what booth for Sema? So I'm not 100% sure. I have a few companies, but I haven't really 100% decided, so we'll see. Estimated final weight. I'm trying to keep the car under 5,000 pounds. So my other Magnum weighed 4,800 pounds. So if I could get this one to weigh close to 40 pounds, I'll be doing really, really well. And I think I mean, I feel like I should be able to kind of cut weight here and there. So the good thing about pretty much all the Trackhawk suspension is it's all aluminum. So the all the scat pack and the Hellcat, the knuckles and all that stuff is all steel. So I should save, it's all cast iron or forged steel or something like that. But it all weighs more than it all weighs more or maybe the same than the Trackhawk. I know the lower control arm on the Trackhawk in the front and the rear are a lot more beefy, but the rest of the stuff is aluminum, a lot thinner. The knuckle, I'm pretty sure that weighs probably 5 to 10 pounds lighter than the Hellcat knuckle. So Hellcat Scat Pack knuckle. So it'll just be interesting to see what it weighs. If I could keep it around 48 to 5,000 pounds, I'll be doing really well. Especially since I forgot what channel it was, just released a video of a Trackhawk, 1,400 horsepower twin turbo Trackhawk, running like high sevens. So if the Charger does that, I mean, it'll be lighter than the Trackhawk. If it can do high sevens, I'll be pumped, and that's gonna be way too fast, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's all up in the air right now. So until I run down the drag strip, we'll see what happens. What about the roof? It's still just doing its thing. Do you think I can take the new inside and put in an old body? I'm not sure what body you're talking about, but if you're talking about a Magnum, I have videos, go check them out. Let's see. Have you ever thought of making a modern version of the Dodge Little Red Express? I think that could be neat. Never even heard of that. How are you going to do the interior mix and match pieces or full custom? It's going to be pretty much mix and match. Hey Dave, your car is looking really cool. Thanks. Just can't wait to see it finished. I'm so in love with this car. Craziness ever built. Craziest ever built. Thanks. All the best from the UK, Dave. Enjoying the project from the Wales, UK. Thanks. Dave, you are the man. Are you going to put 2 turbos in it? Yes, it's going to be twin turbo. Totally in love with the color. It's insanely beautiful. Thanks, William. Are Dodge and Chrysler interchangeable? Yes, it's all Dodge and Chrysler. It's all the same stuff. Turbos would be insane. Yeah, I really think that's I don't know. I really think that's the way Dodge should have went with twin turbos instead of the supercharger. Superchargers are just really efficient. I mean, they make a lot of power, they make a lot of instant power, but at the end of the day, I think a Hellcat with single or twin turbos would get better mileage than a supercharged Hellcat. So then they wouldn't be, I mean, they could say that they get better mileage. I mean, my Hellcat gets, I think, like 25 or something on the highway, which I think is really good for a 700 horsepower car driving down the highway. Dave, is it Monday already? It's Sunday. I don't know, maybe where you are it's Monday, but here it is Sunday. What's up, Dave? New York in the house. What's going on? Let's see. Turbo over supercharger. Just curious why. I thought you had to cool off the turbos before shutting it down. So I don't know. That's really not, I don't know. You really don't have to cool them down. I mean, if you're ripping the car really, really hard before you park it and shut it off, yes. But if you're just, cruising down the highway, cruising your house, pulling the garage, I mean, the oils and everything are so good. The turbocharger technology is so good now. You're really not going to have an issue with it coking up or anything like that. because you're not ripping it. I mean, if I was doing a pull or something to my house and I pulled in the garage, I'd probably, let it idle for like a minute. But that's, and if you're used to turbo cars, you know that. But I mean, it's really, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I think people make it into more of a deal than it is, and then people that do have turbo cars that don't really know much about turbo cars, they're not really maintaining them anyway, so it kind of goes hand in hand with the turbos failing because maybe they don't change their oil as much and they coke up because the oil's like 10,000 miles old. So I think turbos are where it's at. What do you think about the new Dodge Durango Hellcat? I don't know. I really don't know why Dodge made it. I know they just love sticking 6.2 supercharged engines and stuff, but at the end of the day, they already had a Trackhawk SUV. They really didn't need to do it to the Durango. So let's see. Have you ever thought of any custom badges, like a badge off of a 357 Magnum or anything crazy, or just use a Hellcat badge? So I actually designed some badges for the car. I'll end up, putting them on once it's all painted and clear brought and done. Are you mad at your friend? I'm not mad at him. I'm just never gonna let him help me again. So that's just one of those things. I mean, it put me back 2 weeks, and it's just one of those things. So now I'm back where I was 2 weeks ago. I should be able to get that other stuff finished up and then get it all painted and good to go. So I should have already had all the doors painted, but we had that cold weather, which kind of gave me a good week to catch back up because I couldn't paint anything anyway. Because when you have the roof fan on, it's just sucking in all the cold air. You really don't want to be clearing when it's that cold. Even base, I mean, it just takes a lot longer for the base to flash off each coat. So it just takes a really, really long time to paint something. Amazing build. Much love from Afghanistan. Thanks. What do you think about the free valve Miata? So I think it's pretty cool. I've been wanting to do something that is camless for probably since 2005, since Koenigsegg started doing it. But at the end of the day, I really don't have time with all the bodywork and stuff that I'm doing to worry about that. I wouldn't mind having the engine camless, but it is what it is. I mean, so I know how the system works. I could design a system, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I'd have to have an air tank. You have to have a way to store the air pressure. You have to have another ECU to control all the valves and all the actuators and stuff like that. So I really don't want, maybe later on down the road, but I think it's pretty cool that he got it to work and he's driving his stuff around. But I don't know. We'll see. There's a place that is local in Colorado. They have their own version of the valve actuators, but they never do anything with it. They had it on like some diesel semis probably 10 years ago, and literally the company hasn't done anything with it. So I mean, since they're local, it'd be cool if I could just drop my heads off and they could do them or something, but I'm not too worried about it right now. So I mean, it'd be cool technology to put into the Charger because you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. But it's one of those things. It's pretty cool. Every Monday you post a new video. That is why. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough to make a video for Monday. I haven't had enough for the last couple of Mondays, so we'll see. I painted that door and then I did some other stuff, but we'll see what happens. I'll try to get a video out, but it might be later on in the week. I have a question. Cool. Are Mustangs and Tauruses interchangeable? I don't think they are. Watching you live from Africa. What is going on? Africa, man. Um, Greetings from Czech Republic, next to Germany. Love your car. What are you going to do after the Charger? So I'm I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I want to do something with the Trackhawk, but I need to find one. I need to buy one from the auction. I want to get a newer truck, and I want to do some other stuff. So it's some stuff's coming up. We'll see. I just want to get this thing done. This is the project that needs to get done first. So I like the project progress on the car. Thanks. Have a twin turbo 335i and never cool down the turbos, and I rip the road all day. Hey Dave, has RT Life YouTube channel reached out to you yet? Can't wait. Hold on, can't wait till that guy does a show about your car. Both of you guys are Mopar killers. I don't even know what. I've never even heard of that channel, but that'd be cool. I mean, has the weather interfered with the project majorly? So the only thing that it's really done is made it so I couldn't paint doors. I mean, I wanted to paint stuff and I wasn't able to, so because it was just too cold. So and that wing, I needed to get that wing painted, which I finally got painted when I painted the door. It just really kind of, I don't know, it was a whole week of not being able to do stuff that I wanted to. So I was doing other stuff to just kind of, I couldn't do the roof because it was too cold, because it has to be warm to, infuse with the resin and everything. So it was just like a week of just piddling around almost. Durango has third row seating. I mean, who needs 3 rows of seating with 700 horsepower? I mean, the only people that are going to buy those, someone's going to buy them for their wife, and then their wife's going to wreck it. So people are going to get mad that I said that, but it's true. It's so true. A modern Ram Charger next. If you're really worried about cooling down the turbos after running them, you should be running a turbo timer, which still runs after you shut the car down and cools the turbos. Turbo timers, I don't know. I've never really had them on any of my turbo cars. They were just like a fad. They were just like something. So I don't know. They're just for people that are too lazy to sit in their car for like 30 seconds to a minute. But I think I have one car with it. It came with it and I took it out because it just bothered me, because I don't know. It's just one of those things. So plus the newer cars, like the Charger is going to have all the factory Hellcat stuff in it. It won't do it. It just does crazy stuff. I think it might lock because it has all the auto stuff and it's keyless, but some of the new cars don't like it at all. They won't lock the doors because it's like running. So where do I see myself in 5 years? I told this recruiter one time. So I went to an interview and this recruiter asked me that question. And I said, that has to be the most worthless question you can ask, just like a filler question. And he got so sad about it. But I was like, I don't really care about getting a job for your company. I was just like, just ask me like good questions. What am I gonna do in 5 years? Like, it's the stupidest question in the world. I've never really planned that far ahead. Plans that far ahead really don't work out. I mean, you can have a general idea, but it's you can't really think that far ahead in the future. I mean, there's so many variables to think about. Why paint the car in parts instead of all together? Because it's just a base clear. It's not like it's a candy or anything like that. Even if it was a candy, you can paint it in sections. I mean, you don't want to, you could. So if I painted a car, their booth for one isn't large enough to put every part in the booth to paint it all at once. Plus, if you count your coats, you can match it every time. I mean, I painted the hood for the Challenger separate than the fenders, and the bumper separate from the hood and the fenders, and they all match. So as long as you count your coats, you'll be fine. I mean, it's not that difficult. So I don't know. I guess plus if I painted everything at once, I don't know. If I painted the I know a lot of people were telling me that I should have the doors on the car and then paint the whole side of the car. So when me and Trevor painted the Supra, the so he was spraying the candy and he was going, he painted the door and then he painted the quarter, and then when you overlap right there, it's always darker because it's an extra coat. So the first time we painted it, it was like just you could just tell. I mean, there's like, because the whole car was red, and you could just tell where it overlapped because it was so much darker on the candy. So you just have to think about those things, and just it's a learning experience. Once you know it and you kind of have a feel for what paint does, and you always want to do like a spray out card and stuff like that. So and I did one of those speed shapes. If you guys remember, I sprayed it out and had the color and kind of looked at it and decided what it was, if I was going to have any issues or anything like that. So it's just something to be aware of. Love your work. I'm from Delaware. What's going on? Seen the other Magnum on YouTube. It does look like yours. You are really putting in some work into yours and taking pride in it. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I took a lot of extra time to make everything line up. That's why this project's taken so long. I could have had this project slapped together and finished a long, long time ago. I could have not made it all-wheel drive. That would have saved me like a month. I could have done a bunch of things. So, it is what it is, and I'm pretty happy where the point I'm at. The roof, I could have just, glued that metal roof onto it. I could have, I could not make the hatch out of carbon fiber, and it'd just be kind of basic. So the one good thing I like about my roof is that when it sits on the car, it's flush. So it doesn't look bad. So you are someone to look up to, wondering if you thinking about starting your own custom shop. You are on the level of foes. Whose level of foes? Love your attention to detail. Not sure who that is, but I appreciate it. Thanks. I can't read that, but thanks for the comment. How's the roof going? So it's been too cold to do a third attempt, but I think I'm going to be very successful in a third attempt. So we'll see where I get with the doors, but I'm also going to try to get the roof done this week. Like I said, it's depending if I win that car from the auction. If I do end up winning the car from the auction, I have to drive down to Texas, pick it up, and kind of go from there. But we'll see. The bid was already at $20,000 when yesterday, and it's probably going to go up more. So I don't really want to spend over 20 on it, but I might, because I kind of need it. But I really don't need it right now because I'm just buying it for the seats. But the chances of me finding another one that's a theft one that doesn't, that's not wrecked, because when those cars get wrecked, the seats get messed up because they, you can't get airbags for them because they come from Sparco. So they, you have to buy the whole seat. The whole seat's like $9,000, or I would have just bought the seats. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's getting close. Post a free valve video. So I'm probably next week, I'm going to get together all the information that I have on free valve. I have, Koenigsegg's thesis paper. I have a bunch of stuff. I have, I have a bunch of just stuff. So I'll make a video. I'll put all that stuff in it so everybody can look at it, and you could just pause the video or whatever when you get to a spot you want to read, and then just kind of go from there. But it is a lot of information, and it pretty much goes through how the system's designed, what electronics they use, what oil pressures, what air pressures, what actuators, what magnetic pickups. I mean, it goes to pretty much everything, and it goes through the designs, goes to the on and off valve actuation, with air pressure and oil pressure. So I think it'll be very beneficial to a lot of people, but I'll probably end up making the video next week because I'll have a little bit of extra time, and I could just throw all that information in there, and then everybody could just kind of view it. So it's coming. Hey Dave, the car is looking fantastic. Well done. Your hard work is paying off big time. Thanks. I appreciate it. You're such a genius that people now starting to rip off your idea. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody knows who did it first. That's all that matters. Hi from the UK, from bath time. What? Sucks? I'm not sure what's going on here, but what up? Can't wait to see the Magnum done. It's something I've been waiting forever for. Thanks. The Suzukis are still waiting patiently. Aren't you locked down? What about the WRX? I put a new battery in it, and I was driving around in the snow. I was trying to do some all-wheel drive donuts in it, but the tires were too bald, so I need to get some tires for it. Somebody commented a bunch of hearts, I think. What's up? I know it's a Charger, but I want a Magnum. Gosh. Any chance you can get in on Hoonigan, autofocus, or build bio, or that dude in blue? So I've met up with David Patterson once before. I probably could message him and kind of be like, hey, what up, man? But I don't know. I mean, I'm not really. I do like the Hoonigan where they're racing, like the Unicorn or whatever they're building next. I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but I'm not gonna go and try to do like all-wheel drive donuts in a car I spent a bunch of time bodyworking. I might do it in like an open parking lot, but I'm not gonna wreck into something just because. So yeah, maybe something like that. We'll see what happens. What about making a 2018 STI hatch? Please respond. I don't know. I don't know about that. Stuff from New Mexico. What's going on? Become a manager. Why would I ever want to be a manager? That's like, I'd rather not ever be a manager of anything. I mean, I'd own a company, or I would, being a manager is kind of boring. Like when I worked at Cummins, it was nice being an engineer. So I could go to the field and I could kind of figure out problems. Managers kind of just oversee all those people that know what they're doing. So just kind of I feel like it's just a boring job. My old manager always seemed bored. So what's up, buddy from New York? I have work, so I'll miss this, but love your videos. Thanks, I appreciate it. Or become a boss in 5 years? What? Red is supposedly one of the hardest colors to get right. I don't know. I feel like if I still need to do it. I've just been putting it off, but all I really need to do on my Hellcat is blend halfway into the door, and I could literally paint that thing, blend it, sometime in the next couple of months. And I've painted that a year ago or so, and I still know how many coats I put of the mid coat, so I should still be able to blend that fender into that door without having any issues. Or I could just paint the whole side of the car, but that's a lot more work. So, he meant you're as good as Chip Foose. I don't know. I've heard a lot of bad things about those shows that, on like Discovery where they're building hot rods. Um, I forgot who it was that got one of Gas Monkey Garage's trucks, and it was just like the hugest hack job. They're building those cars in like this crazy timeline, so you have to think that they're going to cut all kinds of corners to get them done. I mean, they look great, but at the end of the day, I'd rather take my time and not have to deal with that stuff. I mean, he comes up with the ideas for cool cars, but I feel like, I mean, I don't think there's a show anymore, so he probably doesn't rush his builds as much. But um, you know, I just don't like to rush things. I think it's the best way to do things. Is he reading comments or the chat? I'm reading the chat. Chip Foose's level. Thanks. What's the auction car? It's a secret. I really don't want people to know what I'm going to buy, because it's once I buy one, everybody's going to want one, because I don't think very many people know about them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You guys will get a video once I buy it. Could you make a 2018-20 STI hatch? I don't think so. How do you get so much done in so little time? This kind of thing would take most people years and years. Thanks for the great videos. Love the Magnum and attention to detail. It's funny because so many people in my comments are like, you're taking too long, you talk too much. Like my last video, I primed the car like 4 times in a video and blocked it out. You know how long it takes to block a car or block the side of a car out? So I just work on it. I mean, it's what I do all day. So, hey Dave, are you buying another house for a shop house build after the Hellcat wagon is finished? It's coming this year. I need to probably getting land this year and starting, but we'll get there. Let's see. Hey Dave, are you planning on doing anything different with the door panels or headliner? I was actually thinking about it, but I don't know. I want to get the car done, so I might come back to it after I put factory Hellcat interior in it. I really want to do something different with the front seats, but I want to get the thing done. So I might come back to some stuff after the fact, after the build's done, and then just upgrade as I see fit. So especially with with the carpet on the driver's side, I need to figure that out as well, because of the transfer case and everything. What's your next project car after the Magnum? I'm not exactly sure. I want to finish up some other projects that I currently have, and I want to get, Trackhawk and new truck and stuff like that. Great work, Dave. I appreciate it. Thanks. Mopar Power. They don't have internet in Colorado, I guess, so he streams from phone with 5-minute delay. I don't think there's a delay. Plus, I'm on Wi-Fi right now on my phone, because it's easier to use my phone than my computer. Are you gonna film the inspection of the wagon when done? Since it has a clean title, I don't have to worry about having it inspected. So I'm just gonna go down to the DMV, register. That's it. They don't even have to look at the car. Do you still plan on fiberglass in the tailgate? If so, do you think it's going to be difficult like the roof? Um, so I'm going to do a carbon fiber hatch as well with the roof. I do not think it's going to be as difficult. It's going to be two pieces, but at the same time, it's a lot smaller. So um, I'll probably have the top have a feed and the bottom have a feed, and then I'll just have in the center, I'll have it pulling vacuum. So then I have a lot easier chance of success on it. I saw you in Motion on TV's video with Mitsubishi Lancer wagon build. You have something to do with it. Have a great day. So me and Trevor are friends. We've been friends. Well, we haven't been friends since high school, but we've known each other since high school, and we've been friends for quite a while. So, yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything to do with this project, but I give him some advice here and there, and he doesn't listen to most of it. But, I mean, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, I have a picture of someone with the same design and color. Please send an email and I'll send the picture. It's probably a render, but my email is in the description if you look. Hurry up, I'm ready to drive it. Keep stocking up more SRT parts. Yeah, since I need to I don't think people have realized it yet, but Hellcats are probably going to get very expensive. So I need to give me a few more for parts. Gas Monkey Sema quality builds. Alex Rebuilds has Gas Monkey C10. Okay, that's who it was. Hey Dave, I was wondering what the next project's going to be. Would you ever be interested in doing a collaboration? I don't know, Ronnie. Ronnie always asks the weirdest questions, and he could just like come down here. Cleveland Power and Performance sells seats and full interiors. See, for the price they sell seats and full interiors, I could pretty much almost buy a car. So I'd just buy a car. Have you thought about going airbags on the Charger? Most likely I'm not going to do bags. I'm not going to have it low enough to even worry about it scraping. So I'm going to probably drop it maybe an inch, inch and a half, and that's pretty much it. It really shouldn't need any more than that. Get the RS6 on Copart. I don't know. I've had some Audis in the day, and I do like Audis, but I hate working on them. You should work for Dodge to share your ideas. Maybe. Sorry, couldn't get my point across. Never take a standard to an automatic trans shop. Take your time. Your build is incredible and unique. Thanks. Make your shop like West Coast and design your shop. High quality builds over fast SEMA builds. Yeah, I mean, I have a video of some SEMA fails. It got quite a bit of views, but people are super sad about it. Hey Dave, how's your grandma doing? She's doing good. She's doing pretty good. You need to buy an old school Dodge 69 Charger, build the same way as the Magnum. Like turn it into a wagon? Let's see. Have a shop named Dave's Custom Creations? I don't know about that. Are you now the factory SRT division. I should change my channel name to SRT division or something like that, because I'm the Lone Ranger out here still building SRTs, I guess. I'm building the new SRTs. If you need one, message me. I'm just kidding. I don't want to build cars for people. Will the wagon be ready for the next Cletus and Cars? So it won't. The next Cletus and Cars is in Houston. It was supposed to be last weekend, which it's not even painted yet, but and it's like a month away. So there's no way I'd be able to get it done. I'm not going to rush. I probably could have it painted by that time, but yeah, there's no way it's going to run and drive. So we'll see if I end up going there. It just kind of depends, but yeah, it's definitely not gonna be ready for the next Cletus and Cars. New truck. What are you looking to get for a new truck? Another F Series, Super Duty, or something different? I don't know. I'd probably end up getting another, I'd probably go with a single rear wheel, but like a newer F350 or even a Duramax. So it's just kind of up in the air. I've kind of looked, but I haven't looked too much. I just need to kind of get to the point where I'm ready. I also, once I buy a new truck and get it done, I can sell my truck, which my truck's worth like $50,000 to $60,000, which is kind of nice. So, and it's kind of weird because the aluminum F350s and F250s are like really high, the prices right now, which is kind of weird. They went down and then they went like way up for some reason. How much space does a transfer case take up in the cabin? Seems like it would ruin the passenger space by having to increase the trans tunnel, or is it fine because it's so similar to a Trackhawk? So the transfer case is actually on the driver's side. The room that it takes up is mostly filler room for the carpet, so it's not really going to be noticeable once I have carpet in there. It sits where your leg doesn't even go, doesn't really take up very much room, so that's really nice. Let's see, how much was the engine? The engine I'm using is the one out of that burnt Trackhawk. I'm going to build that, and that Trackhawk was, I think, $1,100. So yeah, I'll probably have like 15,000 into it after the engine's all said and done. Hey man, just hopping on. Hope everything is going well. Love the blue. Thanks. Good afternoon from Prescott, Arizona. What's up? Let's see. Trevor's a sellout, to be honest, only cares about cash. I don't know about that. I mean, it's if you think about it, once you start building cars, like I'm building the Charger, once you get to that point, you're pretty much funding your projects by social media. So I don't know. I was planning on doing a giveaway of my Challenger Hellcat or something else, maybe my truck. I don't know. Maybe instead of selling it, I'll do a giveaway on it. But you have to recoup that money. I mean, I don't know why people get so mad about other people making money. I mean, the people that are mad could do the same exact thing. It's just that they don't want to take the time to do it. So, I mean, if you think about it, I helped Trevor on his channel. He started his channel, and then we did a bunch of stuff, and I helped him for, like 3 or 4 years. And then I started, working on my channel, and I've had my channel, I think, 5 or 6 years. So it takes a long time to get that going. I think a lot of people don't understand. I mean, I've had friends, I mean, not really close friends, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. They do a video, it gets like 3 views, and then they're like, oh, this sucks. But it's, you have to fund the project somehow. It's just not, I mean, unless you're rich, then it's one of those things. So I don't ever get mad at, people that make money, or, make more money than me or have more money than me, because, it's cool, because I wish, one day, hopefully I could have more money. So I don't know. We'll see. Are you gonna tube the back rear? Um, do you mean tub? It doesn't need to be tub. The wide body Chargers can take 11s all the way around. I'll probably run 11 and a halfs with like 325s, 3 something, and it shouldn't need to be tubbed. I'm not going to end up putting a roll cage, if you mean 2, because I don't want a roll cage cluttering up the inside of the car. So the rear end, all the drivetrain is going to be out of a Trackhawk. So I'm going to use, Trackhawk diff, Trackhawk axles, front and rear. So I did a 2-inch drop on E-Box springs and was happy with it. So I think the Charger, how it sits, it sits 3 inches or 3.5 inches lower than a Trackhawk does. And that's pretty much, I need to get it probably 4 inches lower, because I'm using all the Trackhawk suspension. So it needs to be 4 inches lower. So I need like some 4-inch drop springs for a Trackhawk. I'm not exactly sure yet. I need to get to that point where I can bolt the struts up and kind of see what the ride height is with all the weight in it. So 2-inch drop gets rid of that high gap. Let's see. Can we see the garage and the setup you have at the moment? So I'm using my friend's body shop, my friend Josh. I have a shop that I rent. Then I also have stuff down at the junkyard. Then I have stuff at home in the garage. So what I want to do is actually consolidate everything, build a shop house with like, 10,000 square foot shop or something like that. But I need to get to that point so I could have time. I want to get this project done because I want to get it done for Sema. So I'm not rushing. I also want to do some stuff over the summer with it so I could have fun with it. And then once I get this project done, I can kind of start focusing on some of those things so I can have a little bit of free time to kind of dedicate to that. Buy a 69 Charger and put red-eye engine in it with the 2020 interior. That'd be kind of cool. Hey Dave, that's great work on the Magnum. That frostbite look nice. Thanks. What do you think about doing something with the Viper V10? Seems like it could make a neat project. Take your time on the wagon too. Most of us could care less with it. Gets done with its OEM plus finish. Thanks. When it gets done. What's your most recommended bodywork tool? It depends what you're doing. There's a few different tools. I think the best thing is probably sanding with. I think the best thing is sanding by hand, and not using a lot of pressure. Sanding by hand, not using a lot of pressure, because it offers, as you guys saw from the door, it offers a smooth finish. When you press too hard, you're deflecting the panel and you get like these little waves. You can't really see them, you can't feel them, but when you clear it, you can kind of see in the finish, it has like these little tiny waves, where, you know, my door, the whole car, it should just be nice and smooth. So you're trying to eliminate the the chances and the possibility of having those little waves. And when you use a longer block, you have more surface area. It's harder for it to really dig in and cause any of those waves. So, you know, in terms of sanding, probably using, you know, a 2 or 3 foot sanding block. You know, as I go through the grits, I pretty much go to smaller and smaller blocks, because when you sand it in 80 grit, you really don't need to, you know, you want a longer block, but as you start to go down to, you know, 120, 180, 320, you really don't need anything over a 2 foot block. So, let's see. The truck's 3 years old. Yeah, it's a 2017. And it has like 112,000 miles on it now. It's crazy. Will you ever sell it to Dodge if they ask you to buy it? Well, since they don't have an SRT division, I don't think they're going to be asking me anything about it. But, you know, they would have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for it. I was looking at the Frostbite blue color, and it reminds me of the old 1960s Ford metallic blue. I mean, I think all the car companies kind of had a metallic blue. They all kind of, you know, they all kind of almost have that kind of shade. Why don't you get a sponsor? It would help you. Hold on. It would help you, and for the people watching, if they. But all right, it's almost been an hour. I'm going to end the stream here, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.